What is happening, my friends? Boom, we're live again doing our thing for our daily blog. I wanted to try to pull some of these graphs and beautiful stuff. Just jumping right into it. Hello, nice to see y'all. I hope everything's going good for y'all. It's going good for us. I spent my whole day washing tubs. It's always a fun one. God, love that. We are hiring, by the way. Just saying. All right. But I ain't too good to get my hands dirty and wash some damn tubs if I need to. We're always looking for ways to improve our, presence on Mother Earth. Um, we look forward to hopefully someday actually, pursuing that plastic eating mushroom and somehow, incorporating that into our operations. Um, so we can, dispose of some of the other smaller things like petri dishes and things like that, more eco-friendly. We try to recycle as much as possible, and definitely reuse as much as possible, including stinking tubs. I think the thing with washing tubs that sucks is just how big they are, and then when you're like washing them, it don't matter how careful you are just getting soaking wet that day. There's no getting around it. You are just getting soaking wet. All right, so there was a study put out. I seen it. It's great. It's funny because we were just talking about this yesterday, and it came out today. And it is a study done by some really cool people. One of the co-authors posted it for us, so we were able to find it. It was done over in it's done all over the world, but Uruguay, the Chess, the Institute, yeah, the Czech Republic was mainly where this was held. Um, and it's a peer reviewed study, and it's very complicated, a little bit higher grade than I could do sometimes. But I think the basis of this study is showing what we were talking about yesterday. I posted it earlier. It's, the thing is the, full effect of mushrooms is going to be, felt, and have, a better source than, better help for people than, the synthetics. And it's a full, entourage effect, they are a little concerned. They definitely pointed out that, consistent numbers in psilocybin was definitely harder to achieve. Um, they kind of concluded that there's a very specific tryptamine that is in psilocybin. That's not in a lot of other ones that gives it its effect, but it's a combination of quite a few. Basically, they're labeling it PS and PSB concentrations. These concentrations are complex and thoroughly investigated for further studies. They need to be investigated for further studies. But those are kind of the two that are really leading it. Um, this could be interesting. Yeah. The very here. I'll read you the quote I put up today if you didn't see it. The variations in the PSB concentration in mushrooms pose a potential risk to consumers as they make it difficult to estimate the appropriate dose of the drug. And that makes sense. That's why, you gotta go slow and steady. You don't just get the chocolate bar and eat the whole chocolate bar. You consume a little chocolate bar, wait 20, 30 minutes, see how that affects you, move forward. And this is why having a guide is obviously important. Um, you know, Furthermore, the variable cocktail of other tryptamine alkaloids in mushroom species detected in this and other studies may influence their psychotropic effect in humans. This could be of interest to research investigating the potential use of psychotherapy because the psychotropic effect of the full spectrum of natural mushrooms may differ from that of pharmaceutically pure PSPSB. Therefore, more studies are needed on the concentrations of minor tryptamine alkaloids. And in this study, it actually points out a lot of the chemical makeup of mushrooms, which shows the entourage effect happening. I didn't have time to really pull these graphs, and show you guys some of them, but it is quite a bit. I mean, they labeled out. Well, yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't see it. I'm sorry. My bad. I'll fix it next time. But they actually labeled out all of these. There's 16, 17 different H's, 6 or 7 different L's, the PS contents. They all got names that are above my pay grade. You know what I mean? So maybe we'll get a scientist on here and start talking about this a little bit more. But yeah, the study was very, they studied it all. Psilocybin, azarescence, Mexicana, and all of it. And they studied both fruiting body and mycelium and pulled out the whole DNA sequencing. And really studied it. I really appreciate the study because it actually provides all of the back data, quotes and references for its study. There's 94 different papers that go along with this, and it really touches base on the idea that it's not just psilocybin and psilocin that's making you trip. It's a whole entourage effect. And we discovered this with THC, cannabis. I don't know about you guys, but for me, there was a period of time, maybe 6 years, that I didn't smoke anything but dabs. Nothing but dabs. Nothing but the purest dabs, And it got to the point where, it was not very fulfilling. You were just dabbing the dab. And I was really missing out on a lot of the benefits. A lot of the reasons I do smoke cannabis wasn't getting fulfilled, and it just wasn't happening. Of course, made the mistake of going and getting some cheap weed at the dispensary, but it wasn't until one of my buddies showed up and had that uber fire. This guy was like a weed nerd. I've been called that before, but he made me look like a weed stewardess. But he brought that in. His stuff was still selling for $2,000 a pound when you could buy pounds for $200. And some of the best weed I ever had. Never had a problem paying a penny for it. He eventually got his license, and then I had to start going through dispensaries to get it. But that's how it works. But the best weed. And the thing was his terp profiles were good, and it provided the full entourage effect. So when I smoked a bowl of his weed, higher than any of the dabs I got, higher than any of the rosins, and just feeling great. And so I converted back. Now I only smoke, fire weed, take a dab occasionally, but really it's the entourage effect that's really giving you everything that you need in there. And that's what the mushroom's doing too. That's what the study is showing, is that the full effects of psilocybin mushrooms is from everything. I'll try to post a link on my profile, so if any of you guys want to actually look into this, check it out, you could do so, and read it. It's a fun read. It's a difficult read, but it's a good read. Yeah, man. Yeah, they really point out how understudied mushrooms is. I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget. A lot of people go, well, it was illegal, so it must have been studied by somebody, and they decided that it wasn't good for people. But the reality is, not that. A lot of times, there's no studies, and what happens is when they ban something, they make it illegal. The way they make it illegal, the way that, I don't like using the word they, it's a identifier that either provides absolute power or takes away all power from people, and I don't like that. So let's call them who they are. The government decided that it would be illegal for cannabis. They didn't go, well, there might be some benefits, or it might have been studied for this. No, there's no studies, there's no nothing. It's banned, it's done. And when it gets banned, you can't study it further without drastic approvals. Even I read a report when I was doing hemp growth, And I'll always laugh because this reporter in the study was on hemp and hemp production in Hawaii. And the study was held and done by a sheriff. And I was like, a sheriff doing this study? So, at first I was biased, yes. I had to swallow my own bias, which we should all do every once in a while. And I discovered that this sheriff was actually had a degree in botany and was quite the smart gentleman. And he didn't believe it would work that great. Here, I'm on the feed, so I can actually see if you guys are commenting. I think, oh, I could hear myself. No, I don't like that. Okay, yeah. There. Oh, no. Shut myself up here. Okay, but back to the story. And so the sheriff was like, cannabis won't grow that great, hemp won't grow that great in Hawaii, but, we're going to go ahead and get some cultivars and figure it out. So he went through the process of getting cultivars, went through the process applying with the DEA, going to China multiple times, procuring seeds, trying to get them back. Every single time he was stop rolled. And I'll never forget the words he said at the end of his report was, the federal government can outlast me. They can just keep you in paperwork for 10, 15, 20, 30 years and never actually get anything done with it. And so they had to abandon the program. I think the program did eventually get launched and it was a good program. But that's what it is. So my lady is calling. I'm live right now. I'll call you back in just a second. Or here, wait, right now. We're live. What's up, babe? I'm live right now. You on your way?
I'm in the back, and
I'm Door is open.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. All right. Sweet. So, that's the thing with the mushrooms too. There has not been any studies on it. We don't know what's in them. They were just banned, and we're going to see that. We're going to see lots of studies happening. Lots more happen. It's going to get known. They're going to start identifying all of the chemical makeups inside of the mushroom. And we're going to see huge benefits and huge growth from it. Just as we did with cannabis. I hope that we can keep reins on it being a natural medicine, though, instead of this money-making thing that we do. Yeah, man, I get a lot of heat for that one. I say these things in my feed, and, then I get the messages. Man, why are you talking about my product? I'm not talking about your product. I'm talking about just the area of products. Get your money ever how you're going to get it. Do what you need to do in the moment. But let's all remember, focus, and remember to keep the plants natural and naturally healthy. And this has been my daily log. I appreciate you guys coming in. And y'all have a good day. I'll make sure to post that link hopefully on my Facebook feed. If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, make sure to tune in on my Facebook feed, Willie T. Thomas. You can find me on Facebook. I'm holding up hemp, doing a speech before hemp was even legal. Holding it up, looking at the cops in their face. Miss Trisha, can you mute your music pretty please so we don't get muted? Holding up my hemp and being like, yo, you can't get arrested for this, hoping that the police don't come arrest me. And they didn't, because you couldn't get arrested for hemp. So, I look forward to growing our mushroom business, and I look forward to seeing all y'all again. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.